I mean, it's not.
106.
It's watchable. It's just not
Thursday morning on the Sam
the
Fred
best.
Show here on Rock 106.9. Online for you at
Actually, with my
WRQK.com.
streams,
That's where
that wasn't a
Wednesday's
problem.
show is
It was
podcasted for you. Also, any show before
the frame rate was
everybody
fine.
knows.
I just remembered it wasn't the frame
Been a
rate.
couple
My
of years here at Rock 106.9. Thanks again for that.
image
So,
quality
plenty of
was
old shows
bad,
for you to
but
get
again,
caught up
streams.
with.
I was having the same problem with
You
that.
can interact with the
Yeah,
live show
stream
every day, but
streams I
the
get
bit
like
rate.
my bit rate's horrible, so my
there's the
stream
text line
image quality was horrible.
330-450-7625.
But it was doing the same thing with my just normal recording, so I
You
was
can
like,
also find me
take
on
them.
these days ratio on. We got a
So
lot
you have to
get
mess
today.
with that,
At 9
figure out how
o'clock,
to
I'll rock the bank and
change
pass
the
out that
recording
first
resolution.
$1,000 key
Because I know my
word
computer
for
can do
get
it.
that
It's a
done.
powerful
And
computer.
as
It has
I
an
told you that, let me
RTX
move that in the position
2080
where it's
Super
supposed
in
to
there.
be. Before I forget,
So,
also 9 a.m. this morning.
and it
Let's go
has
back to this Tucker Carlson, Aaron Rodgers interview just a little bit.
a,
We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but we did not get into it.
AMD Ryzen 5600G.
Aaron Rodgers is out there. This guy has embraced a lot of different types of
Elite
a lot of different
8 gigabytes of RAM.
He's had plenty to say.
Pretty average.
COVID vaccinations. He's had
For an entry-level computer, that's still pretty good.
He is now talking about online pornography. What he says is going to sound
So,
like an absolute.
that's just, I have to figure out how to use the software.
Being a little too paranoid. But if you were in his position, I'm willing to bet you would be thinking differently about this. I think the more famous you become, the more you do have to worry about certain things. We'll get, excuse me, we will get to Aaron Rodgers and why he refuses to watch online pornography. I'm not sure I believe it, but we'll get to that coming up at 9 a.m. this morning. He also said, he's like, dude, I'm just not into weird stuff. Well, there's plenty of porn out there that's not weird, right? There's just people, there's the notes, right? There's that. You could find that online, right? You got to scroll past a few pages before they'll show it to you, but, it is out there. But we'll get to why Aaron's staying away from the pornography.
Once,
8 a.m. Somebody has revised the bro code.
once
This went a little viral.
we can get,
on Reddit. I read through it a little bit yesterday.
once me and my mom got that
and we'll run you through this.
finally have
at 8
the
a.m.
freedom to have our own internet,
I'll give
we
you
don't
a few
have to
teasers. It says trash
let
talk your friends
my
to their
grandparents
face,
dictate what internet
talk
provider we
well
have.
about them behind their back. Yeah, that's.
can actually
I'm not sure that was
make
a
changes to our
but
house
Yeah,
if we
that's a
want
good
to.
rule of thumb. That's a
We can
friend.
actually have a fence, because that's one
I
of the
can't
rules
speak
that
for
the
women, but
HOA
guys really like
has.
busting
We can't
balls
have a
amongst
fence.
them. Like we're in there,
It's
As
like,
long as there's
and
a
yeah, you
mutual
let everybody else
respect
have a
between the
fence.
two
Yeah, that's
people, you can normally say
makes
most.
sense.
Why I'd
Not
never
talking
live
about my
in a
wife,
place,
it's not
place
necessarily
like
talking
that
about my
with an
kids. Outside of
HOA.
that, dude, talking about me balding.
If I own a home, I'm gonna do
Let's go.
whatever I want
Right?
with
There's
it.
a little ball busting.
I'm not gonna have somebody
But yes,
that.
that's
The
exactly
thing is,
how
they
a
don't
country
even.
should
It doesn't
be.
even seem
I'll
like
say
they
the most
enforce those
horrific thing in the
rules.
world to you, to
But
your
then,
face,
but then
but
it's
if
like,
somebody
well,
else
we don't want to be
talks
the
bad
people
about
that
you,
go
that's my
make an
buddy.
example out of.
Right? That should be a little bit more common.
We'd just rather not
It says
test
here,
that.
you see a
That's
bro
not
running
freedom.
game, let him cook. Meaning if he's hitting on
You're
a
basically
woman,
paying
don't get in
somebody
there and
to
be
tell
like,
you what to do
"Please."
with your own property.
That's not true. That's
No
not
way to
true
live.
at all. Not like President Biden. He lives on his mother's town, right? Like there's no, if you see a little bit of that,
The only
they
thing
say
is-
Shit,
just
we've
let
got
him have it.
more
Just
freedom.
Let him have it.
Freedom
Let
than
your
that
friend
paying
lie
rent
would be another way to look at that.
with
And I guess we will be able to flip
her
this
gardening
coin
and
over a
stuff.
couple times on the program. Let me see here. If a woman your bro likes is hitting on you, then deflect, and then redirect to him. That can be a tough one. I got a couple of different viewpoints on
The
that
only
one.
thing
That
we,
could be a very,
the only
very
upside
tough
we
one.
really have is that we have neighborhood
Sometimes
watch.
your buddy's got no shot at
quiet
it
area.
whatsoever. You kind of
Nothing
like
really
the
happened.
dude. You didn't want to say anything because he was a little bit more into
So you're
it.
basically
But
paying for
secretly,
nothing.
you've been kind of feeling the same way. Next thing you know, you find out she kind of likes you a little. What are you supposed to do? At what point does he have to be my friend and go, you know what? You two can probably find a way to do that. At least maybe. I think a lot of people probably could do that if they thought you were going to do it.
Usually
If you
neighborhood
just wanna
watch
break up
just
with the person
equates
they
to
like,
someone
then
being
all of a sudden,
nosy.
They may get mad at you over that. We'll get there.
Can't mind their own business.
You'll also notice that almost everybody around there is very politically loud.
Also, the NFL schedules came out.
They have to state exactly how they
Opponents are
feel.
for a while, right? They kind
It's
of tell you
like-
this is who you're playing, and
It's
then you
like,
wait for
okay,
something.
nobody around here
And
really
then the
cares what
official
you think.
schedule. And why it matters is
We also had
when
some,
you play
when we
it,
were fixing our
absolutely matters. when you have your bye week,
walkway.
can
Remember, it was like all
absolutely
tore up.
now, certain players want it a little
we had some
earlier in the
looks going
season.
by,
I think a
it's
lot
like,
of players like it a little
okay,
as late in the season as you can get it. That's the more likely your body's
we're
beating up. You're a little bit
fixing
more sore,
something
you're not
that
feeling
needs to be
100%.
fixed.
Well, we'll run through the Browns schedule coming up at 7 o'clock this morning. We already knew they were opening with the Dallas Cowboys. That at home. That is September 8th, 4:25 in the afternoon at that NFC 4 o'clock window. And Tom Brady's going to be on the call for that one. It is going to be, I mean, I'm just telling you, there are going to be so many eyeballs on that. What a great game to win. Obviously, you want to win everything, right? Of course. You know you're not going to. That's just not the end. Most times, that's not. But you'd love to win all your games at home. But if you could win the first game at home against that brand on TV, all eyes on Brady, all of a sudden, you know how people always say, nobody around the country gives Cleveland enough respect for the sports and this and that, whatever. If you win that game, you might start to get it. And there's always going to be the Sean detractors who just won't admit he had a good game because of their feelings at the off the field issues.
What
and all that.
happens
I
is
understand.
a bunch of people, like,
But if you
maybe
come
they're
out
on their off
and you
time
put it
at
on
work
the
or
Cowboys
something,
week
so
one,
you can
let me
score
tell you, I
sure
think
to see
you're going
what's
to start
going
to
on.
get some more national attention on the Cleveland Browns. So we'll get to their schedule. We'll do that coming up 7 o'clock. Also, I think things might be a little tough for the Steelers fans. We may have to look at their schedule a little bit as I know some of you are Steelers fans out there too. And, well, I guess we're going to forget you for that. At least
More of a
And the other thing I've noticed about it,
well, a couple of things. How bad the work ethic of the youth is.
your streams are optimal
And I also hear about
as far as viewers, right about the 15-minute mark.
These two
It
stories
just kind of resets.
collide together
Like
next to
people stop.
Earlier season came to an end last night in Boston.
Like
losing
as your
13 and 98.
as your stream falls down the
They
short
actually pushed
speed,
this to a 6-game series, maybe 7.
so usually right about the 15-20-minute mark, I'll restart the stream and it'll drop it back in the top of the feed again.
He's your best player. You play a series without your best player twice, that's going to be a tough one, right? That's just going to be a harder way to go about it. Evan Mobley, you got to give the kid credit here, man. I mean, so many people were calling him out, myself included, saying, Mobley, where's the points, man? Yeah, you're a good defender. You've got to start to develop as an offensive player.
Got a new,
maybe 33 last night. I mean, like, the guys answered the bell. He had
basically said
everybody. Everybody. It's like, dude, this guy is a
No, I've had that.
player, but if the Cavs are going to take that next leap, he's going to have to become an offensive threat. And I feel like
That's actually the one I was looking.
But or if he maybe just felt the pressure, like,
Didn't you say you were looking for something like that?
Yeah.
That's actually the one I was looking for that I was just going to give you.
Yeah.
I
remember he had another one as well.
Guys go out like that.
Red sides.
Yeah.
2 games in that series.
Didn't you lose that
it's
one
hard
though?
fought, and the team doesn't quit.
Or like it stopped working.
I actually sold it.
Got those guys, coming together, and got them to believe in themselves, and there's a lot of that. I mean, the Cavs fans were trying to fire JB Bickerstaff on Christmas Day. And
But
so
yeah,
I'm curious
you can
how
have
they feel
that.
about
You can have that if you want.
Is he starting to be like, well, I gotta tell you, dude, chips were down. He's got
Eventually,
these
I think-
guys
I remember you were saying
fighting.
something about you wanted to get something like that to start messing with or whatever.
Yes.
Eventually, I want to get
no, they didn't push the series deep. Okay.
a software called FL Studio.
And a lot of times we would attribute that to the coach.
That works with that.
All right. We talk lack of work ethic all the time.
You just gotta map everything, all the keys and stuff.
You go into a store, nobody's there to help
All the
you.
buttons.
And, they huff and puff. If they should.
That's just something I've never really learned to do is the key map or anything like that.
And I had a bunch of stuff in the cart. And
I honestly could probably just look up a video.
FL Studio, it's got tutorials that I actually went through and did, step by step, but I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Down on the bed.
And I know it works. I know it works with works with that controller because it actually the box actually had stuff on there about FL Studio, how There's like a
Because my
free
grandfather
download
yelled
or
at my
whatever.
dad's generation about not having that with him. And wouldn't you know it, my dad had a problem with my generation's birthday.
I have a friend
And
who,
then, would you
I
look at
have a
that?
couple friends who
My
have FL
generation got a
Studio,
little
they
older,
mess around with
looking at
that.
the younger generation.
I have another friend who, he takes
I know,
audio clips that his friends make with FL Studio and he puts it through
it's kind of
Audacity.
Now, I guess maybe what you
I had
say is,
Audacity
I'm not
for a
sure
while.
I do a whole lot, that standards flip over time.
Whenever me, Mike, and Tyler had that band,
I
Yeah.
guess is
we'd
one
use
of
it
his
to
things he does is he
record
goes
on.
around and offers people money to do it. That's a pretty popular way for people to get a big
Like we'd just set it up so we could,
and
record our jam
he
sessions.
went through a drive-through window.
But yeah, my friend, he takes the audio effects and
He pulled out a stack of money and
he just basically
uses
uses it as a mixing studio to add a little bit more effects to the song. Because it sounds a little bit more polished.
The worker turns to him and says, "I'm good." Prop God apparently is the screamer. This I don't know. But again, you're not going to screamer doesn't really matter. He then pushes back and says, No, take this money. Here's what the worker says. There's only 3 people here today, otherwise I maybe would. I don't want to leave them suffering, he said. Prop God, of course, looking for his online content and understands that, oh, dude, this can't go that far. I don't know this, right? He said, what if I gave those people a couple $1,000 as you're walking out the door too? The worker, I'm sorry, I'd still feel bad about it. I gotta admit, man, there are days. I would be foolish to walk out of this job for a one-time $100,000. That would make me foolish. There are days where, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of money. I always say, everybody says money doesn't matter until the money shows up on the doorstep. Then all of a sudden, we're gonna find out who you really are. Because that shiny ring normally makes people go, yes. That's what happens. Money changes. It also changes the people around you, and then thus that changes you too. A lot of offside, conversations about that. How many people are turning down $100,000 in cash today at a drive-thru? 1 out of 10, maybe? I don't even know. I don't even know how to place the odds. It is so crazy that a lot of people feel like it was a setup from the beginning. Because a lot of stuff is faked on these social channels now and all of that stuff, because they figured out there's a reason why TV was the way it was, because